You're listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast, discussing all aspects of precision and long-range rifle shooting. This episode is brought to you by Impact Dynamics. And now, over to your hosts.
Well, hello and welcome to the Precision Shooting Podcast. This is episode number 155, and we're missing Andy. Andy's still on the floor. Actually, he's plugging cables in and doing things. And oh no, you finish off, man. Finish off. It's fine. Oh, I'll just chat to Josh. How are you, Josh?
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We are coming from the new studio, which is probably why it sounds a little different because it's not quite as done up as the old one yet. But
not as refined.
Not as refined. Still a little bit of some work to do to treat the sound because it's a big open room compared to where we normally are. But here we are. We're doing our thing. It has been quite a while, so forgive us for having not been on the show for 5 or 6 weeks. And Andy was a few extra minutes behind that. And we're stirring him. He's doing this massive favour of putting cables in, and now he's feeling under the pressure. I'm sure you're fine. Andy, how are you, mate?
Good. I thrive under pressure.
That's why I did it. I figured, you just be rolling. But anyway, that is all happening, mate. How has your last month-ish been? Mate, we've got so much to catch up on.
Yeah, we do.
So much going on.
Definitely.
Anyway, how's it been for you, mate? Give us a quick overview of the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, so last few weeks I've had a family trip up to Queensland, which was inconveniently booked at the same time as Mildura match.
Yeah.
But we'll talk on that a bit more later.
Or now.
Yeah,
well, the disappointment was it didn't go ahead.
That's it. And I was sitting in my shorts up in the sunny coast, sitting by the pool, and I was like, I feel really bad for those guys, but... such is life.
Not so much anymore. Well, that was there was an interesting, obviously the Burris Cold still open, and Mildura was meant to go ahead a little while ago. You're right, Josh. You telling me something? No, okay, good. Nothing. Just
getting all my bits and pieces sorted. It's been a while.
do whatever you need to, mate. Do whatever you need to. And so what were we doing? The Mildura match was happening, and then so I was driving up there on the Wednesday, and I was meant to go to Mildura that night, sleep there, and then get started Thursday morning. And I got to Loxton, which is pretty close to the border, maybe about 45 minutes from crossing over the border.
Yep.
And I stopped for fuel and I went, you know what? I'm nervous right now. I'm unsure what's going to happen tomorrow. Things are sort of circling like they could go bad or they could be okay.
Yep.
And I messaged Ben. I'm like, man, how are you going for setup? Are you underway? And he's like, yeah, not too bad. I'm like, all right, well, I might just sit this one out tonight. I might stay this side of the border.
Yep.
And just hold off. And anyway, the next morning, as everyone will know, we got up and took a quiet morning, sat down by the river, and watching the news, and within the first 3 sentences of the press conference, I hit go, hit send on an email to cancel the whole event because we couldn't, the place was locking down completely and it was just not viable.
Yeah.
And then later that day, SA put out their border restriction with Victoria, and it was backdated to the Wednesday. So if I'd crossed the border, I would have been up for potentially another quarantine period, which would have sucked. But anyway, so I was very lucky, but very disappointed, obviously, that the match didn't happen.
Yeah.
So,
there was plenty of people looking forward to it for sure.
And for many guys, that was going to be their first match back, and for several, it was going to be their first match completely. So anyway.
Yeah, it's in a prime location, in between SA and Victoria.
And New South Wales, it's pretty easy to get to for many people. That's so devastated. And Ben Jarrett, poor Ben Jarrett.
Second time in a row.
Second match in a row. He was there putting targets up when I had called him and said, there's no way we can make this happen, man. Yeah. No way. So, and he went, righto, I'll back up and get back over the border. Poor bloke. So
must have been tough for him, but there's next time, and maybe hopefully he hasn't suffered from PTSD from it. So.
I might say, hey man, do you want to run another? No. it's highly likely this scenario.
He might not be setting up anything until the day before.
The day after, we'll run out, put your own target out, and then shoot it. Oh wait, no, we've done that. Anyway, that didn't go down so well. Very good. Well, we should talk, particularly for those who are watching us, that we are in a very different environment to where we have been Previously, mate, we're in the new. I don't know. I keep referring to it as a warehouse, but that only tells part of the story here. Really,
It's really only half of the gig.
So we've got a big warehouse out that window just behind Andy, and that's where Projectile Warehouse and Scoped Out are running out of. And then down below us, we have a reloading setup almost ready. Another week or so, and that should be a workshop and reloading setup and bits and pieces. And then out the front of that, there is a little showroom, which Ben Johnson is coming tomorrow to give us some advice on.
Yep.
Ben is a bit of an OG with the precision rifle side of things.
Yeah,
He's kicking around at the beginning and has helped me out with many gun shows. So he's coming down. He's a builder and going to recommend what we do in there.
Yep.
Then brings us up to this level. We're on level 1. That sounds really fancy, doesn't it? Yeah.
Is there more?
Yeah, mezzanine, really, I guess. And this is the studio slash
we won't
office.
we won't tell them about the rooftop bar.
We're not
then.
allowed to talk about the whiskey bar on the roof.
Okay.
No,
Damn
it's,
I've got no conversation now. That's all I had.
that's all Josh wanted to talk about. Oh well, that's
But
all
yeah,
right. So
what are we calling it? The studio.
that seems to make sense.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. So what
The magic room.
the magic room. So this is the new home, and it'll take a little bit of time to get this thing sounding correct and sounding better. But we have the same big desk that we had back home, but actually now room to get around it a lot more.
That's it.
And it's on wheels.
So much room for activities.
It is.
When they're not locked in, you can move it, yeah.
I'm going to trash the camera here, but this is on wheels, and so we can move it around when need be if we've got other guests coming in or anything along those lines. And then we can also we had about 20 people in here the other night.
We did.
And you were on the panel for a reloading Q&A.
I was there.
You sat at the front of the room.
Yeah, okay.
Whether you were meant to or not, you that's where you sat.
I don't know. I found a chair up there, so I just sat on it.
Gravitated towards microphone because it felt at home. And that is going to be one of hopefully monthly events we can do in this room, both with people coming in and getting hands on with some stuff, and also live streaming those events. Because Josh, if we were to turn one of those cameras around, which we won't, but Josh has a full sort of on wheels deck with all the streaming sort of setup.
There's 4 cameras rolling and none of them are at me.
Yeah, we try and get it that way.
We've even got the GoPro running just because.
Yeah, you've got one sitting above us, which I actually played with because it was basically showing half of that wall. Yeah. Anyway, so this is an amazing step forward, and it's a massive thanks to those guys who have been listening to this podcast and supporting what we do over the many years that we actually are able to be in a position like this. And we want to, we did a video the other day, but we really want to take this location. Of course, it's a workspace for a lot of it, but take and do what we can to build the sport and
promote as much as we can and give out the information.
Do what we can. It's a bit closer
for the people.
For the people, is it about the same or a bit closer for you to get to?
Or I'd say a bit closer.
A little bit closer. Yeah.
But it doesn't go past Hungry Jack's. That was my treat.
Really? The secrets all come out. Was that on the way up or is it the way back?
Depends how much time I had.
There is a problem though. It is on the way past Macca's or Hungry Jack's, depending which way I go for me. Yeah. This is, I expect, Josh, you're going to have to get a couple more wide angle lenses, I think, in here. If I keep going past McDonald's every couple of days.
Wondering where that was going.
We had to fit a little bit more. So, now we're getting some comments on YouTube about the name of the studio. We've got Studio Ben, Studio 54.
As long as it doesn't end up as Bodie McBoatface or something like that.
Studio McStewface.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah,
we will decide.
We're happy to take nominations for the name of the studio, but we haven't named it at this stage.
Yep.
So that'd be good. But we can tell you a little bit more about it. We have the coffee bar.
I saw that back there.
Yeah, there's a little bar there. It's set up for.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do
really
one
nice
night?
Coffee. What are you going to do, Andy?
I'm going to make up some affogatos.
Oh yes.
And we can sit here and have an affogato.
Yep. And we'll get Butters back and get him to do it correctly. Butters doesn't know how to drink an affogato.
No.
Oh, good. Anyway, so
Got some more studio names.
Yeah, I see that.
The 69 Grains or the Gay Tiger's Den.
What about 69 Gay Tigers dens? No, I'm trying to put it all in there. Anyway, so that is the the premise, the place. This is home.
The future.
This is home. This is the future. That is right. So I'm probably still going to call it the warehouse because that's the majority of it. Is like that. But we look forward to people seeing people here. And by the way, downstairs we haven't done it yet, but tonight we should. There's a big wall that we put in. It's a pretend wall. It's just a piece of MDF that we've stapled to the wall. But anyway.
Someone didn't cut it straight either.
No.
Don't look at me.
Wonder who that was, Andy, or wasn't, or whatever. Anyway, that's all been painted. And the idea for that is anyone who comes here, grab a texter and sign it, write a message or something on those lines. So we should do that tonight and christen that wall. Yeah. Anyway, so that's enough about where we are. That's why it sounds a bit different. Oh, have you got more, Andy?
No, I was just going to say, I bet you're enjoying the extra space at home, and I bet that side of it is good as well.
Well, currently the old studio is being used to sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, cool. Perfect.
This pile of junk that we needed to get rid of, and we put it in there, take photos, and sell it off, and $2. I sold some iPod cufflinks tonight. That's the guy who came here and picked something up. iPod cufflinks, which
Right.
I didn't think anyone would want. I didn't even check how much money he gave me for it, to be honest. He just handed me some money and all good. But apparently he said, this is completely irrelevant, but he said that he still uses an iPod and all his friends give him a hard time. So now he bought cufflinks to show them what it's done. So I was very impressed by that.
I'm sure there are a few kicking out there.
Yeah.
It's a solid little reliable unit.
Yeah. I bet he can still buy them new. But anyway, that's another story. So this is the new place. We hope that a whole stack of our listeners at some point will be able to come down and check the place out. And when the showroom's done, there'll be scopes and all sort of bits and pieces out there.
Yep.
But we look forward to running events and doing all sorts of stuff from here. So no doubt those who are watching will get to know it a little bit better. All the different ways. We've got a couch over there and a TV behind me, or you can see that on the camera, and all sorts of other little hidden. There's going to be a couple of little hidden things in here as well. So
we've got all these goodies, and like the TV's the only thing that's in the shop. Everything else is just hidden behind.
It's because the TV is huge. Look at the damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That was, it's a cheap one. It'll probably not work in a year, but anyway, that's the way it is. Good for previewing YouTube videos, right?
That's it.
It's paid itself off. I've previewed one video for work. Done. That's all we needed.
Tax write-off.
Claimed.
Claimed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, very good. Well, we were meant to shoot a competition, Andy.
Yeah.
We were meant to shoot a competition.
Well, we have been shooting competitions.
Okay.
Just not like
this one here. How did I hit that? I've got a Nerf gun. I just shot that at Andy, and I hit the mic stand.
Yeah.
Good.
Right, shooting about the same as normal then.
I got him in the face.
Yeah, and then he shot the dart.
I'm going to put that away. And by put it away, I mean put it away, ready to go.
Locked and loaded.
That's it.
Right.
No,
anyway,
I was just saying we have been shooting these comps, but at both times
not together.
not shooting the same comp together.
This is true. This is true. Now I'm trying to get the timing of it. So the week before the PRS match was meant to happen, we had Steve Hurt over from Outer Edge Projectiles, and that was really good. I spent some time with him. We filmed a bunch of videos. We're just starting to almost be ready to go out, and so you'll see them in the next week or so, probably before this podcast goes out for some of them. But we spent some time, went down to Taylor's place and did some filming down there. And when we came back, we came back to a match that you and I were meant to shoot our rimfires off and have a crack on. And we're there, and Andy comes up and he's like, "Well, I apparently have to go."
Yep.
This is before the match started. And so, I mean, technically, I won.
Well,
But I mean, I'm happy to leave it at that. But I did bail on the match prior.
the first edition.
The first edition, I did bail on. But I bailed on reasons.
Sick leave.
You bailed because you were unorganised or something.
Oh, just of commitments, life.
Shooting is life. Come on.
I know.
We did. Well, you did bail. And then to be fair, I shot 3 stages. I think Josh and I shot 3 stages there.
I reckon it was 4.
4.
That's what I'm claiming.
No, I don't think we moved. We did the cycle. Let's go with 4. Sounds better.
Yep.
We shot all 4 stages, Andy. 4 more than you. And then we were so wrecked from moving in here,
Yep.
then having Steve over and doing stack of filming. Oh, my stupid drive. I'll tell you one about that in a minute. And then, we got 4 stages in. 3 and went, no,
4.
We're just going home after 4 stages. I was sick of it after 3 and maybe shot 1 more.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I actually was in bed asleep by like 9 o'clock that night. Like I got home and that was it. I was done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a full-on couple of weeks.
That was
moving, setting up.
Yeah, and then we're rolling out to the PRS.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, well, I haven't got the PRS, so maybe I'll get some sleep. No, I spent the whole weekend here. Doing, I don't remember what I did, but we were here flat out.
Yeah, buying Nerf guns, I reckon.
Buying Nerf guns. We have had a slight Nerf gun addiction since moving in because we don't deal with firearms, and so we haven't got a firearms license for the we haven't got a dealer's license here, but we can buy Nerf guns still for a little while. Who knows how long that'll last?
And lots of them.
So if anyone is looking for a Nerf gun collection instantly, Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
You can buy like some poor kids who's who's now 9 who no longer is interested in Nerf guns.
Yep.
You can buy an entire would have cost their parents like $800 over several years. You can buy it for like $30.
Yeah, right. Jeez.
You can deck a whole wall out for $150 worth of Nerf guns, and most of the darts don't work. You got to buy new darts, but
Little does he know when he turns like mid-30s.
He'll want them all back. He'll want them all back.
That's it. Like, where are those Nerf guns?
But he'll be able to buy them for $10 by then.
Yeah, that's right. They'll be cheaper again.
Yeah.
You'll have all the kid desires with adult money. Yeah, that's the way it goes. We've strayed a long way from actual shooting. Sorry. So we went down with Steve from Outer Edge, and the idea was to develop a load for the 6 Creedmoor, which was an exciting weekend, and to do it with Steve.
Yep.
So we went back to my place after being here and did the majority of the loading.
Yep.
Did some prep and all that sort of gear, and then. And that was brilliant actually to see Steve at work. I look forward to the video of that one coming out because I think it captures a whole stack of info from Steve that really in-depth knowledge and just and Taylor, particularly Taylor, because he's fresher. It was really great to see him responding to that, which is excellent. Anyway, so we packed everything up and then we hightailed down to Bordertown, which is about 3.5 hours away, and got down there. And I think I realised when we were unpacking everything that I had left my brass home. Oh. Now, if there's one thing that's very difficult to substitute at late notice in the country when you're trying to get a load, and you're with the OEP guy, so he's got all the projectiles in the world on board. Powder, well, plenty of people down that way have powder. Primers, well, again, there's not a ton of primers, but you can always nab a few if need be. But the brass that's been once fired in your gun is very difficult to get a hold of.
Yeah, it'd be hard to replicate it, that's for sure.
That's right. So I was planning for a wonderful sleep given the week that we just had, and I went to bed. 3 hours later, got up and drove back to Adelaide and picked up the brass. It was exactly where I'd been distracted by the tumbler. I'd grabbed the tumbler, and I grabbed the brass, put it next to the tumbler, like, is the tumbler good to go? Grabbed it, it was full of water and stuff. I'm like, I'll empty all that out, tidy that all up, and then threw that in the car and left the brass on the shelf. So that was ridiculous.
Yep.
I'm sure I'm not the only one who's forgotten some shooting-related item, having travelled the whole way back.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that, Andy? Anything?
Oh, I don't believe so. I think I've been like, just halfway down the street, and then I'm like, oh crap, yeah. But, no, I've never had to do the long trek.
I've seen people leave bolts behind. That's a really common one, actually. Yep. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, actually, I did that.
Oh, you did?
I didn't leave it behind. I just left it in my case, which was in the car.
Oh, so you had to walk to the car.
Yeah, had to walk to the car. But
that's a journey and a half. Though.
Wow.
Yeah, but there was a split second there where I was going,
oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Oh, it's the worst feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. And then your hours are literally hours away and you don't want to drive. And so anyway, that chewed up most of the day. I think the boys slept in that morning. And by the time I got back there, I'm like, oh, have you recorded a podcast? Have you? Nope. No, we barely got out of bed.
I think Steve was actually really grateful just to be able to just stop for a day.
Yeah, it was a pretty intense 6 days or something like that. So anyway, it was good fun. So it has been hectic. We haven't been doing videos. We haven't been doing those sort of things, but we're back on deck now. We feel a little bit more settled, don't we, Josh?
Yeah, ready to make all the Nerf TikToks.
I'm glad you got goals in life, mate.
Yeah.
Goals in life.
Reaching high.
That's exactly right. Well, that's the thing is I keep posting up TikToks and they keep getting pulled down because they got guns in them. So, yeah, we'll try Nerf guns. Sounds good. I think we've got to get some optics mounted up and, we could do all the things, but just I don't know, teach all the stuff and try and grow the sport through substituting Nerf guns for TikTok.
That's it.
Anyway, that appears to be my goal for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No, we have all sorts of stuff on the horizon. So lots of videos in the works. We now actually have some room to. I mean, this is going to be the cool thing. We set up the Projectile Warehouse channel. The fact is, if we're like, all right, we need to shoot a video for that this week.
Yep.
Literally, just wander downstairs. The lights are pretty much always going to be ready to roll. Turn everything on, film it, and then we can get stuff out. So it's going to make our ability.
Your set up and pack up time is just going to be crazy quick.
Virtually none. Yeah. And then the ability to respond to someone. So like what I'm hoping is that, we might get an email and someone asks a question for that, and you're like, actually, that's a really important question that we, you know what, let's go and actually let's write the response to the person and get back to them and then grab that and actually turn that into knowledge that we can share. Yep. So, I think that's going to be very encouraged to see how it all plays out, what it turns into. So, yes, but what's on the shooting agenda? You're shooting this weekend, amazingly enough. Are you going to hit anything?
Oh, we'll see.
Okay. Good.
Well, I hope so. But
what's happening?
So heading up to Loxton, they've got one of their first.
Oh, that same place that I bailed on going to Mildura. Yeah. Yes.
So I think they've got their sort of first bigger steel challenge.
Right.
On their range.
Now that's an F-class range, isn't it?
It is, gallery style range.
Yeah, awesome.
So it will be ran a little bit different. I think it will mostly be prone stages, but with time restraints and things like that. Yep. And I think we're starting at 600 metres, then pushing to 8.
Yep.
On one day, and then the next day I think we might even be going out to a K.
Yeah, brilliant.
And I'm not very used to shooting that far. I was going to
say, have you shot 1,000 outside of the challenge, outside of the box to 1,000 challenge?
I did once.
You did once?
Yeah. Okay. So there's been two scenarios. Two times I've shot to 1,000 metres.
I like that the challenge that you did to 1,000 metres, you spent more time at 100 metres.
That's it.
Trying to hit the damn target than you did at 1,000.
Yeah, you put the effort in early and you'll get results.
Yeah, because that was your plan, definitely.
That's it, yeah.
To spend all your time at 100.
That's it.
Okay, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Should be really good. There'll be a massive range of experienced shooters there.
And diverse.
And that's what I mean.
Diversity in the F-class shooters and the PRS shooters. Because are you shooting all belly? It's all belly, isn't it?
Pretty sure it's all either that or there might be one stage with a bench. But
okay. Bench, yeah. Belly and bench stuff. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
but then
I mean,
target tree, I guess, is the way you manipulate it.
Yes, yeah. So there'll be pretty small targets there, I believe, and
okay.
Looking forward to chatting to all the guys there. I'm sure there'll be plenty of farmers and that sort of
brilliant
crowd of people coming through and running all sorts of hunting rigs and a couple of F-class rigs and so it'll be a really diverse sort of people and equipment.
Yep.
Which will be good to see.
Look forward to
see how many people I can annoy with the muzzle brake.
You won't need the muzzle brake, mate. It should be really good. And what's on after that? We've got a club match the weekend after or so, maybe 2 weeks after.
2 weeks after. After Loxton, I'm then going hopefully down to the southeast with a mate.
Yeah.
Doing a bit of spotlighting.
Yeah.
And something else if we can.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's the week after that, got the club weekend again.
All right. So I hate to bring it up, but should we make that the one that we try and make the challenge for those who haven't been? Okay, here we go.
I think I am in fire match directing.
Oh, really?
For that one.
Right.
Possibly.
So you're know, it's going to be completely rigged.
Nope, got it wrong.
No, okay, cool.
Mine's in August.
All right. So are we going to make that the match that we actually do our challenge for those who've been playing along at home poorly.
We'd better pencil it in. I need to talk to my significant other because this will be 3 weeks in a row of weekend shooting. She has brought it up a few times.
Okay. All right. Well, hold. In a couple of weeks, we'll work out whether this is the one or you're looking for somewhere else to live.
That's it.
One of the two. We'll find out.
I heard there was a couch in the studio.
It turns into a sofa bed, actually, that one.
Fantastic.
So for the late nights here watching Formula One, and that's about it, really. for Andy when he gets kicked out.
That's it.
Yeah.
And moving on.
Hang on. All right. Hey, the other thing that's on the cards coming up is bucking. You shooting bucking? You're not.
I'm not shooting bucking.
Well, let's move on from that. That doesn't relate to you at all. Then
I thought I'd share the love with that one because it's such a popular spot.
It is such a popular match. I wish I had more capacity. It would be much better. But anyway, well, we're rolling on from the Gunsport Trading. If I get this right, the Gunsport Trading Winter Classic, supported by Carles, is the official name. The Knife Force Heatstroke Open is one we are actually shooting together.
Yes.
Good.
Can't wait.
And have we talked about our planned trip? I don't think we have.
I think we've hinted towards it.
I think we've hinted towards it. Should we continue to hint or should we divulge?
Oh, I think we should just drop it like a couple of days before.
Okay.
This is what we're doing.
Okay. Well, we are driving to Darwin together and there will be shenanigans. Shall we leave it at that?
Yep.
Okay.
Done.
All right.
2 blokes
Where's this
in
going?
a car.
2 blokes, 1 car. Is that what you were trying to?
Yep.
Sounds like 2 beers, 1 chat.
That's it.
Yeah, because
Or
that's what everyone's thinking. Because that's what everyone's thinking. Josh doesn't know what's going on.
I'm just going to set the camera up and go in another car, I think.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, fly the drone, mate. Fly the drone.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, tell me, Andy, in our disrupted last few months of not really doing a whole lot, but doing everything has been hectic. Have you learnt anything about shooting? Is there anything you wish to share with our good listeners and viewers? I have put you on the spot. Hey, Andy, do you want to do a podcast about shooting? Hey, talk about shooting.
There's just so much, guys. Like people won't understand how much work's involved. But rather recently, my brother-in-law's gotten quite into it. So that's been.
How's that been as a journey to witness? It's great when new people do it, but when it's someone who's really close and they're really sort of picking your brain about it, like on a regular basis. Yeah. What have you? I'm sure you've learnt some stuff from watching that happen as well. Yeah.
So it's been a lot of like he's not getting into the reloading side like as of yet, and he's using my equipment, so he'll be using my 223 for most of it, and just buying factory rounds for that. So more of the like at stages, at competition, sort of skill stuff, positional stuff, and then like understanding data, understanding all the wind and stuff. It's sort of from trying to help someone from a really fresh, like I'm talking hardly any experience, and just going right back to the basics. It's been interesting because as we talk about stuff, or we'll talk to other shooters about things, we often just skip over a lot of the stuff from the right at the beginning. Even the things like it's just saying in the scope, like, oh, you can just hold over. Like if the data's saying 2 mils, just hold over.
What does that mean?
What do you mean hold over?
Yeah.
And is it 2 lines down or is it 4 lines down? Yeah. Like because of your subtensions. So you're just like, oh, right. Take a step back. Let's show them a whole bunch of stuff on how the turrets relate to the reticle and first and second focal plane, and so it's been really good. And then the frustrating thing is like you just give him basic information and he'll shoot really well, and then you're like, God, I've spent years like doing background work.
I've been years to finesse my inability to hit targets.
That's it. Yeah. When really all I needed to do was get data from someone else.
Yep. Shut up and just pull the trigger at that thing.
That's it. Yep. Yeah. Hold this for wind, hold that for elevation.
Yep.
You'll be right. It's easy to overcomplicate things, I think.
Yeah, shoulders are giants, mate. When you it's easy when you but you're right. There is really a truth to that. That you say something, or you see someone respond on a Facebook post or something like that in a group, and you're like, oh, there's just so much more to that answer. But you're like, well, actually, depending where the person is up, and that's where like Facebook groups are not brilliant at that, but being able to sit down and chat or talk or matches and that sort of stuff is really great. That's why I think that's part of the reason we promote just getting along to a match so much, because people can really, they can give you advice, but it's not just sort of generic advice or that sort of thing. It's it can be so contextualized. So it can be like, right, for your scenario, for your situation, this is a great solution. It's not like this is the be all end all. Like this is not. I'm simplifying this a little bit. There's much more to decide later on, but for the time being, this scope is going to be absolutely fantastic for where you're up to. And all those sort of things. And I think as more experienced shooters, not necessarily good ones, but more experienced shooters, you often you overcomplicate things. So you're like, oh, I've got to give them this background and give them this background and give them this, and then you're like, oh, but he's going to come back to me in 2 years and be like, oh, why'd you suggest this one when you probably should have suggested that one? You're like, yeah, but there was like these 15 other variables that we didn't cover. So I think it's great for you to witness that journey of someone coming along. And I know there's a few guys recently who have started Facebook pages and that sort of gear about their journey into PRS and getting into that. And I think it's great because as long as they're not sort of up there going, hey, we know everything there is to know. And like, that's not what I've seen. It's the guys who are going, hey, here's what we're doing and here's what I learned and here's what failed and here's what's – and I think even at the guys who are brilliant, like the Phil Vallejo and that sort of gear, still come with that approach.
That's it.
To that sort of stuff of saying, hey, that is, this didn't go well for me or this did go well for me. And
no, definitely.
Yeah, I think they're guys that are worthwhile paying attention to.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think it's a good thing.
Sorry, I've
mental blank. I haven't done this for 5 weeks, so
yeah. Talk into the microphone.
What?
Into that. Are you running out of beer? Is that the problem? Have you run out of beer? Did you need another one?
Tide's out.
Yeah, because the joy about this studio is that I can come over here. And I am gonna lose the microphone in a minute, but
how
far can I get to the beer fridge?
I'm looking at your stretchy cord.
I've got a stretchy cord on the earmuffs. Josh, can you turn? I don't know if you can turn that mic up, but I'm gonna try and get to the beer fridge. I'll see how quickly I can get to it. Ready? You counting, Andy? Ready? Give me a go or something.
Oh, go. 1, 2, 3.
And I'm back on the mic.
Whoa.
Yeah, 3 seconds to get a beer.
Not bad.
That's not too bad.
Back in the... Oh, now I've bent my mic stand over the wrong way. There you go, mate.
Oh, thank you very much. Good
Freshie for you.
I did order a coffee, but that's okay.
That would have been longer than 3 seconds. That would have been a little bit longer. And you would have been up all night with this coffee. It's pretty caffeinated.
That's it. I've still got a lot of data to wire up.
No,
so.
This is true. I've got to paint some walls as well.
That's it.
That's not tonight. Not tonight. So... yeah, that's it. It's what are you doing?
I just try not to open it like too close.
We just announced on the entire episode that you're getting a new beer. We spent the last 3-minute section was just about me like stretching to get a beer, and you're like, I better not open it up on the microphone. That would be inappropriate.
People would look at you and be like, wait, when did he open that beer?
Subtle.
Photography chicks. Did he get a new beer?
As long as we leave this podcast on a loop, so it started how it finished. Anyway, I'm waiting for the comment of because we're just setting up a new reloading space downstairs, and it's starting to look pretty good.
Yeah,
it's starting to look pretty good. And I'm waiting for someone to be like, oh, you only just finished one at home. Now you've seen this. Well, I'll tell you, the one from home is coming here.
Yeah.
This is not I can't run 2 reloading setups. I don't need to run 2 for whatever reason.
Well, I'm going to try anyway.
You're going to try?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bring in everything here. So my shed is looking pretty empty. Looks good.
It's good.
Looks really good, but it's looking pretty sparse. And all that will be coming down here, and we'll be able to do all sorts of work.
That just means heaps of room for dry fire practice.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. all the room for the dry fire break. So if you want to use all the room, mate, you're welcome to. I'll give you a key to the shed and you can get in there and dry fire your heart's content, because I'll be here painting walls instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I dry fire practice.
I will in the lead up to Darwin. I do actually need to strategize as to, not strategy, that makes it way more formal than it should be. I need some sort of plan of actually sort of getting on top of things for Darwin, because, I know I'm pretty privileged and I get to go to a lot of PRS matches and all those sort of things. But this one,
it's a different mindset.
Yeah, I'm not particularly going for any work commitments per se.
Yep.
So I'm paying to get there, pay my own way and get there and come back and pay for the entry fee and do all the things the same as everyone else for something like this. And so I don't expect to win. I don't expect to come top 10. I don't expect to top half, to be honest. I've been that far out of it, and there's some such good shooters around.
Thank you.
Yeah, Josh is doing well. Josh is doing well. Wouldn't know. I haven't seen you shoot for so long.
Yeah, I know.
And so, but what I want to do is I want to be able to get there and have given it a solid go.
Oh, for sure.
And if I leave it on the shooting line, on the table, on the mat, on the whatever, on the barricade, whatever we're shooting off, leave everything on it, and feel that I actually gave it a really good shot, because I'm inclined to be busy and to stay busy and to use that as the excuse to be like, oh no, I just didn't have time. We got this new, I can give you 100 excuses if you want. We were preparing for this thing that we're going to do on the way up there, or I was busy getting this place ready to go, or we were working towards the next match or the next couple of matches. I can give you all the excuses in the world, but I know that I'll get there and I'll shoot and I'll come second to last, right?
Yeah.
And you just go,
you'll be kicking yourself.
Yeah, and you go, I had so much more in the tank. Yeah. Now I might finish the match and come third to last and be stoked because I felt I gave everything. Yep. And if that's the best I can shoot, no dramas at all.
Yep.
You will have something to harass me on the way back about, which is fine. I know you're flying back, aren't you?
I'm flying back, yeah.
Now you've already got something to harass me on the way back about then.
I'll make a banner for you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Just paint on top of the van a big middle finger as Andy flies over the top. He'll see it. Anyway, we've been distracted. So I want to make the most of actually shooting a match, because first one I've been able to shoot, and so I want to. Yeah, there's no expectation to do well at it. There's every expectation to do as well as I can at it.
Yeah. Oh,
so
for sure.
Yeah, so I need to. I think perhaps next episode we should talk about some planning towards preparing for a match.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've got plenty of prep work I need to do, and a lot of mainly practice. It's one of the things, I guess, you could relate that to going to the gym or doing any sort of other.
To the what?
I think they're called gyms.
Josh looking confused as well.
Yeah.
I've never heard those words before.
Well, I don't go, so I'm just saying could relate to.
I don't believe that, Josh. Something must have stunted your growth when you were young.
But it's that mindset of you can find any excuse in the world to justify not going. Mm-hmm. You can keep busy or jobs around the house. Oh, I got other stuff on to do. And that happens a lot. But at the same time, after the match, if I feel like I didn't shoot as well as I could, I'll be kicking myself that I didn't actually put in the effort to practice. That's something I do want to do.
All right, well let's just damn well do it. I'm going to say to our listeners and to you and to Josh that between now and the next episode, which should be in 2 weeks, I will have done 5 dry fire sessions.
Nice.
And I'll do my old trick of streaming them on Instagram.
Yep.
Because one, it's fun to actually talk to some people, and then 2, it's actually having done that.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm going to make sure I set up my target light with the DFAT and put that together and actually do some dry fire sessions and stream them out. So that's
very good.
So if anyone else wants to jump on the dry fire challenge with us, which we've just invented. That's what we're going to do. Andy, are you going to do anything like that? Or are you going back to yoga?
Well, I don't think I ever started.
I've got video proof that you did start a couple of times.
I think it was a bit more just stretching.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Another excuse. I need to find a place to do it.
We're sitting in it, man. We're sitting in it.
Yeah, that's true. The studio.
Studio. Yeah.
So yeah. No, we'll.
Is that what it's going to be called? The dry fire studio.
The dry fire den.
The dry fire den.
No, that's downstairs.
Yeah, I was going to say den doesn't really work when it's upstairs, does it? I don't know. Anyway,
maybe we just need to build another upstairs again.
Get onto that, Andy, if you would.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, definitely we should talk about things to take, things to prepare for, stuff to organise before you go.
Yep.
All the little bits and pieces and tricks of what you take in your bag. You don't want your bag to be too heavy.
Yep.
All the ammo, I guess, bits and pieces. Well, I've still got to work out what I'm taking to Loxton.
Oh, yeah.
And that's this weekend.
Good. Well, look, that's the thing. You can take a reasonable amount for a match like that. One, because there's no movement, so it's not like someone's going to be like, "Oh, carry everything you brought with you on this stage." You'd be like, "What, to lay prone and shoot?" Sure,
yeah.
Like it's not such a big issue for something along those lines. But obviously, don't forget your brass.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
because Loxton's about the same distance as Bordertown, so I can tell you what you're in for if you don't. When are you going up? You're going up on the Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Get up so I won't be able to make it back if I.
Yeah.
Well,
you won't have somewhere to make it back if you go earlier.
That's it.
Understood. Well, there's always a couch here.
Well, as someone that's new to it all, what's your sort of go-to thing that you put in your bag and you get ready to go to?
Ammo like and brass now.
And bolt. Sometimes I scope if I feel like taking it off the night before.
I would say, to answer your question seriously, Josh, I think, we're going to assume that gun and scope and your bolt there. Ammo is not a silly thing to mention.
Magazine.
Ammo needs to go in there. Magazines is a good thing. I often keep them in with my ammo because I don't generally put my ammo in my bag. I keep it locked separately or just on the shelf with the brass. And then what else do you pack? Do you leave your bag packed and ready to go, Andy, or do you pack it each time?
I find that I'm leaving it packed now.
Yeah.
That is.
Is that a change of recently where you've?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had a few different bags, and I bought this bag dedicated for PRS, and every time I go to use it, I know where everything is. It's packed once, like it's just you get familiar with your setup.
Yes.
And then for the things that, like a rangefinder, at a PRS match, you don't always need a rangefinder, and usually I've just got that on the outside of the bag, so I'll just disconnect it, leave it at home.
Gotcha.
But yeah, for the most part, it's all packed. It's all as I want it, and then so I'm trying to cut down on my prep time, and it's just more of a go bag now. I just grab it, and it's got everything in it.
I also have a go bag, which is usually overpacked because I often just have spare bags and sample bags and that sort of stuff in there, so it's probably too much. But yeah, bags are another one that end up in the bag very quickly. Bags are in the bags. You know what I mean? Shooting bags are in the backpack very quickly. That's a pretty keen one to get. And then I think there's a lot of those sort of little incidental things. Some binos are good, or a spotter or something along those lines, whatever is appropriate for what you're doing.
So my, like, the thing's strapped, because I purposely got, was it 511 bag with the molly on the outside. So the things that I need quick access to, I've got a little toolkit on the outside, binos on the outside, rangefinder on the outside. And then I'm actually taking both my bipods now, like an Atlas and the Skypod.
Yeah,
because there have been a few scenarios where I've tried to shoot certain positions using the Skypod, and really all I needed was a really simple bipod.
Yeah. See, are you normally leaving the Skypod on there and then putting the Atlas on when required? Because I go the other way. I generally run the Atlas all the time until I hit something that you're like, this is very odd and strange. I'll run the Skypod.
Usually I'm leaving the Skypod on. It's only when I come to a stage that has like a narrow sort of beam or something we need to shoot off of, because the Skypod spreads out a fair way. Yeah, sure. So Skypod's my go-to. But
okay.
Yeah,
no, still, I think for that same reason, it's narrow, a bit smaller and a bit more compact. I leave the Atlas on there as a go-to.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, I'm getting a little bit more use out of the Skypod. I might use it once or twice a match.
Yep.
Like I haven't. And again, this is down to some dry fire practice and knowing when it's an appropriate solution for it, rather than being like, oh yeah, it seems about right, or oh, Andy just used it and did really well, surprisingly. So I'll try it.
Yeah, there's really
It's not good advice to do. Don't recommend.
There's really the majority of stages you could do with a Harris or a really simple bipod. There's only very few odd stage, whether it's a slanted platform on the side, or
where it becomes really beneficial.
It's beneficial. So I wouldn't say go out and buy a Skypod straight away. There are definitely other ways you can get around it. But yeah, back to sort of the basic sort of stuff. Yeah, definitely a bipod. I mean, I've got so much, just little bits and pieces in my bag that I probably would never need, but it's that one time that you do need. Like I've got a fly mesh for my head, mesh net thing. For that one day that's just going to be stinking hot up at Monado and you got flies everywhere. I can throw that on and the web's just big enough that it doesn't impact my vision through the scope. So yeah, it's just all those little bits and pieces.
I've got some of those things as well. And then by the time that particular match comes around, I've lost it. Or it's in the bag because I've never used it yet. I just forget it. And then you shoot the match or shoot the day or whatever you're doing. And then you finish and you're like, oh yeah, I probably should have grabbed that out. So many times.
That would have been helpful.
So many times. Or you like you shoot a stage and you get off that on and you look back and you're like, oh, I could have used this bag for that one. Oh yeah, forgot I had that bag. It happens way more than it should. But anyway, that's my fatal error is not practicing and not shooting enough and not dry firing, because then you get. I think that's one of the things, Josh. For your question of what to put in the bag and how to put that stuff, work out what you're going to use, is actually practice with it. And so you practice with stuff. And you're like, hey, I like this bag or I like this iPod or whatever it is. That's going to end up in my bag, and perhaps I should be a little bit more controlling with what goes inside the bag and use that as right stuff I'm comfortable with, solid with, and know I work well with. Then it gets to go in the bag. Otherwise, it's wearing the wrong shoes. It doesn't get to come inside.
That's it. Yeah. Match day isn't the place to be trying out new stuff.
To be fair, some people don't get to shoot outside of match day, which is understandable. But a big match is not the ideal place to run something. I mean, a club match, if you're not too serious about it, then sure.
But really, rock up with a rifle, ammo, scope, and use everyone else's gear.
100%.
They'll let you.
100%. Yeah, guys get surprised when they ring me up or they'll catch up with me and they're like, oh yeah, sell bags and stuff like that. What do you recommend I get? I'm like, I recommend you get nothing and come to a match. And they're like, but don't you? Why
you need a bag, dude.
Why would you? I'm like, dude, if you go along the match, you'll have about 30 bags thrown at you. And if you're like, hey guys, I'm just starting out and I don't know what bag to use. Boom, all the bags.
That's it.
And then what happens really? Oh, you've said this, I'm sure, many times, but it is so true that you try 7 or 8, and then you're like, well, I mean, Josh, would you know now what bag you would probably, or maybe a couple that you would favour having shot with a few, or have you just used mine and not really?
I haven't given, I guess, the bags a big thought because I've still just been getting my head around all the guns and stuff, but I'd probably still have a rough 3 or 4 that I'd go, all right,
pretty comfy.
I've used these bags. I know what they feel like. I'd get one of them.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is you actually can get familiar with it, and there might be 1 or 2, Josh, that you've used, and you're like, no, definitely not. That doesn't suit me.
Yeah, there definitely has been, and then others that go, oh, actually, I quite like that one.
And nothing with that sort of thing. Nothing beats that hands-on experience. I mean, you can get that hands-on experience by buying all the bags, which you can do. But it's money that you don't need to spend.
Yeah, that's it. Let other people buy all the bags for you, and just. Well, it even happened at the range last weekend. I was RO.
Oh yeah,
and I'll often take all my gear up there. So I had my bags and everything, and I was talking to a new guy, and he's wanted to get into PRS, and I saw him he had an awesome setup, let's be honest. Like Defiance Action,
Yeah, right.
MDT chassis, Night Force. And I was like, dude, just starting out, are we? But yeah. So and then I saw him pull out this homemade bag, a sock full of corn.
Yep.
Dried corn, and it was. I don't know if you've used something like the small beads or balls, but they're a bit wobbly. And I said, no, here. I threw him some bags and I said, try these out. And he goes, oh, that's how you hit them.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It can make such a difference. Yeah, you really can, which is, it is what it is. Yeah.
But you won't know until you're on the barricade with a bag trying it with your rifle. Or someone else's rifle. Yeah, hands-on experience.
I mean, and the same goes, like, it's not just bags. If you get the potential to go with scopes and with guns and chassis and those sort of things, that helps as well. If you're able to sort of trial those different things, that's really a benefit. But that is, one, a little bit harder often. Two, you can do a lot of, scopes and stuff you can often use and try off the range or off the gun, and so you can still get a feel for it, whether you like the dials and the clicks and all that sort of stuff. But bags, I've found, probably out of all the shooting gear, bags are probably the most personal. I mean, chassis, again, probably not far off that, but chassis are generally adjustable enough that you can always make most things work fairly well.
That's it,
Very good.
There you go. Does that answer your question?
It does. Well, I had a family member call me a week or so ago just to ask. He's got a fair amount of firearms and getting involved in it. He's like, just asking, where do you do your stuff? And I was like, I'm up at Monado. And he was sort of very hesitant of, like, I think he's been to one gun club that's just very set in their ways and all that kind of gear. And I was like, no, like, come up. Like, if you want to try it, people will just give you guns. And I was like, me, I've been up to the range and every time there's been someone like, oh, do you want to have a shot? And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. So,
sure.
Yeah, it's just,
Josh has
no
actually
shortage.
shot more than either of us combined.
Yeah, that's
never paid for a round of ammo.
Yeah. I keep going to the range, don't shoot, and I walk home with all this brass. Like, what's going on?
Thanks, Andy.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent. Well, guys, I think we might wrap it up there. We've been flying along, Andy. We've still got a wall to fix and other bits and pieces. But fantastic, guys. Well, thanks very much for tuning in. We will not what camera we're looking at, but we will be this one here. We'll be back. This is going to be I guess back to more regular sort of occasion. It's nice and easy, and it'll be set up. So we look forward to seeing you guys coming down. Oh, one more thing I did need to mention. It went up tonight, but we're actually looking to hire someone.
Right.
Which I shouldn't, sort of make mention because we want to put the word out there as wide as we can, and I'm sure some of our listeners might know some people who want to get into the industry or in the industry already, and we're looking to put someone on in the sales and service role based here, and particularly once we get the showroom up and running and phone calls and all that sort of gear. So if you're interested in working in this industry or already do, and you want to come work for Scoped Out Projectile Warehouse and hang out with this and have Nerf battles during the day from time to time, and
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
You'll get really good dental coverage.
Wait, I get dental? What?
And if you had teeth left, and anyway, sorry. Let us know on the Impact Dynamics website. There's a job posting there, and you can check it out and apply and all that sort of gear. So that'd be great. Share it around if you know someone who might do that. It's based out of Adelaide, but hey, if you're interstate, let's talk. And if you're open to coming here, because it's a good place, and we've got a good club here. It shoots lots, and
that's it.
Not as much as we should. Let's do that. Speaking of shooting, I'm going to improve things immediately and pick up my game now. Oh, that was a perfect shot on it.
Thanks for listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast. To continue the discussion, check out our Facebook page. And for more information, head to our website, www.precisionshootingpodcast.com.au. This episode was brought to you by Impact Dynamics.